don't like Jess hilarious, okay? Let me clear that up. Me and Jess have a mutual understanding. We're evil stepsisters, okay? All right? So, yes, I've dragged her in the past, but I do not want to see nothing happen to this woman, okay? And Jess has, regardless of whether people want to give her credit or not, and I do see a lot of people trying to come for, what she's built, but Jess is self-made, okay? They don't make them like that often. Jess is self-made. Jess comes from the internet. Jess comes from the trenches of Baltimore. She made it out as a Black woman. She's giving her kids a better life, regardless if she slept with a married man to get on top. It doesn't matter. She did what she had to do. At least she threw the cooch the right way, okay? Because a lot of people not throwing the cooch the right way, okay? And so when it comes to her and what she's built for herself, whether you guys find her funny or not, even though I don't find her funny, but I do respect the hustle and I respect the business. Do you understand? Okay, that's something, because a lot of people think talent gets them where they need to go, and it's not. It's consistency and it's discipline. I'm sure there are way more talented people than me out here, or even her, but they just do not put one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, and do it daily. And you get punched, you get kicked, you get knocked down, you get told you ain't this, you get told you ugly, you get told you ain't shit, you get told you don't deserve this. But meanwhile, you're getting up every day to do what you got to do to get to where you are. And so I'm not even about to beat around the bush when it comes to that, okay? And so she comes from the internet, and this is all she knows. And so when you have two Charlemagne trafficking to get to where he is, trafficking women, because remember, he brought Sharina down from South Carolina and gave her to Wendy Williams' husband, and Wendy Williams' husband gave him the job with Wendy, and then Wendy co-signed him to get his position. DJ Envy just light skin. Talks a good game. Went to a good school. Just knows the right people. It's not like he's good. Who's going to a DJ Envy concert? Huh? Okay. So the thing about it, and Envy is an accused scammer. Yeah. I guess the Breakfast Club wasn't paying that much. He needed to expand. I guess he needed to make more money than his wife. So he needed to expand. And so when you have someone that really worked, I'm not saying they didn't work to get what they got. I'm just saying Jess really came from nothing. Jess really came from nothing. Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore. Like I said, Baltimore put me on. Maryland put me on. I can't even lie. Maryland was the first state to really just accept me for cursing. I remember being from the South, and they'd be like, a lady is not supposed to curse. And I'm like, who told you that? Who told you that? I get to Maryland, I was like, you get to cuss your boss out and still keep your job? That's why the people up there. So the thing about it is, like, I'm not even about to start this commentary with dragging her. But like I said, she's not my cup of tea when it comes to comedy, but she is for a lot of people. She's not my cup of tea when she comes to radio, but she is for a lot of people. But also you have to remember, I came from radio to internet. Just came from the internet to radio. So for them to try to excuse and tell her, don't focus on the comments, don't worry about what people are saying, when these are the very people that built her up and they humble her at the same time. I don't call it tearing down, I call it humbling your ass, because y'all have humbled me, okay? Y'all have definitely humbled me, and I was like, you know what, I was wrong, I'm sorry. But it's just pride and ego. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a two-way street. But for them to negate where she came from and not consider and give her grace for how she's feeling, I mean, I saw this coming from a mile away, and that's why I was trying to tell you. And that's what I was trying to tell y'all. Like, just like I had clocked when they had fired Ski Wiggins, when they was getting ready to fire Ski Wiggins on Fox Soul. Matter of fact, they was getting ready to cancel the whole Fox Soul show after Funky Dineva had left. This is what was going on with the Breakfast Club. The ratings were not rating, okay? They were going through a lot after Angela Yee decided to take her energy and put it elsewhere into her own. She is doing amazing. Like I said, at first, Angela was painted as a weak woman on this show between two masculine energies, and she's extremely feminine. She's not masculine and feminine like me and Jess. Me and Jess probably wear more masculinity than we do femininity. This is all feminine. So her raising her voice, her getting down with the get down, going loud, cussing it, Baltimore style, Florida style, it's not going down. She just gonna keep it cute. And what did she do? She worked her way and used her little prettiness to go get her a show called Way Up, Angela with Yee, and it's doing okay. But it's hers. It's hers. It's hers. Okay? And so, but the Breakfast Club was like that at one point. It was like that, and we cannot negate Angela Yee's contribution to that. And we've seen the decline since she's left. The proof is in the receipts. The proof is in the interviews. The proof is in everything. And now they are having to gather and where they could pull from here, whether it's viral moments. Telling a girl don't play with the internet, but yet you played with the internet when it came to hiring her. You let the internet drag her into thinking she didn't get the job. And then you want to tell her in the same breath, don't play with the internet. So to see Jess come out 7 months postpartum, to notice what we've already noticed, what we've already seen, it's a little disheartening, but at the same time, it's like, girl, we warned you. We tried to tell you. And a lot of you may think it's hate. Like they're trying to say that it's hate, but just mess with the mess. You are a self-built woman. You're going from an entrepreneur to a job. That in itself says a lot. You're used to calling the shots. You're used to saying what you want to say. You don't have to share a mic when you're on stage doing comedy, but you have to share with them. Those are the rules of corporate America. Those are the new rules that are for people who need to say, yes, sir, no, sir. But you don't have to do that. And the reason they grabbed you from the internet is because you were messy and you brought viewers to their show that was lacking after Angela Yee left. So honestly, my heart, I'm not here to laugh at her today. However, I'm gonna get my laugh in because y'all thought I was hating, and I'm not hating. I just saw what a lot of people truly don't see, and that's why our platform is where it is. I mean, look at she got the same type of platform. Our platform is where it is. Now, this ain't no dig to Lauren. Y'all notice I ain't said nothing about that beautiful black woman. Because I don't even like that these two are pinned against each other while these two dodo heads, an accused vagina taker and an accused money taker, both from the community, are laughing at two well-built, self-established black women. They think it's funny to pit them against each other. Let's go ahead and watch this live with Jess, and then we'll go through and we'll unwind some things before we head over here to TashaKLive.com for our special exclusive on Big U Enterprises. Let's go, Jess.
Whole part-time little shit that I got. I got a contract that I negotiated and I got it. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm on air. She over-talks. She's over-talking me. Lauren knows she does this shit. Whatever. I've told her about this shit many a times. You know, she over-talks me. I'm like, yo, shut up. All right? Or hush, be quiet. Yeah, that clip that y'all saw. Yes, shut up. Be quiet. Yeah, I said that. And I've meant that. You know what I mean? That's the only way to get her to hush. So I'm like, all right, cool. One day, I told her, because I went in the comments, I'm like, all right, people don't like that. All right, whatever. You know, I'm not her mother. She's another grown woman. I have to respect this lady. But she's not going to keep talking over me, y'all. I'm already confused on why the she's still here. You know what I mean? Like on air. Not in the building. On air. Right? So I'm like, all right. I told her, be quiet the next day. Charlamagne texts me and he says, yo, don't tell her be quiet. You tell her shut up. Play into that narrative of y'all beefing, y'all not liking each other. Why the f would we do that? But I'm like, you know what? All right, cool. She cool with it, I'm cool with it, because I'm not a be quiet type of bitch anyway. I am a shut up type of bitch. Ask my kids, right? Even the 7-month-old, ask her. So then I asked again, I'm like, all right, so she's going to be the fourth host. That's what it is. Whenever we do find that, you know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of beating around the bush, y'all. I feel played with, I'm going to play with. Like, that's just like, come on. I've been quiet a lot. If Jess Hilarious is quiet, it's a mother reason. I always got my mouth open. All the time. How about y'all clear some of this shit up for y'all teammate? This shit is ran like a high school. Yeah. It's ran like a high school. It is. Fair East Side High. Fair East Side High. Before Mr. Clark, though. Like when he first got there. Y'all want a bitch to keep her cool. Look, check this out, y'all. Look, man. I get up every day.
Right.
Every day. And they always talk about, you ain't at work, you ain't at work. Yeah, I started picking up more shows. Hell no. That's how I'm getting. Hell no. Hell no. I have more fun outside the fucking studio than I have in there now. Is you crazy?
And so here, I am not shocked that Jess took it to the internet, because that's where she came from. You can't go backwards. You can't go from working for yourself and then, you know, you go by playing by rules. It's like, you know, it just goes against who she is. It goes against why they asked her to come. Creating mess on the internet. So she is postpartum, so we are going to give her grace. And so her crying and being vulnerable on the show and talking about, you know, how disrespectful she was to Lauren, because I didn't agree with her telling Lauren to shut up, be quiet, you over talking me. But you got to understand, you're talking about a woman who's probably not getting 8 hours of sleep. She's afraid that she's going to lose her job, because I'm going to be honest with you, comedy is not it's not doing what it's supposed to do out here. Comedy clubs aren't paying what they used to pay. You got to move your own tickets. You got to do a lot. And so it's like, yes, she wants her job. And so, yes, I have to continue to go. But it's like, but I want to speak my truth before they create this narrative as to what's really going down, when we really could see that they are really trying to get her to fire herself. Because, you know, it would be if they would have, you know, because they did see a boost in ratings when Lauren came. It seems like she was more passionate about the show. But you also have to remember, Jess was 9 months pregnant working. You know how exhausting it is to be pregnant working? And then trying to save money, as much money as you can, because your money is going to be stopped, because it's not like she got products out or anything. She doesn't have any residual income. She makes money by being talent. So if I'm not available to be talent, then no. So this little money that she's used to giving, I'm sure she got her bills set up according to stage money. So the thing about it is, it's like, and then I'm going to be a mama too. There's a lot going on with that. And I just feel like there's just not enough grace given to her during this situation. And while people were dragging her during that time, it was like, but she was pregnant, having to get up at 4:30 in the morning with another small kid to do a show in the wee hours. And y'all are asking a 9-month-old pregnant woman to be enthusiastic when in reality that baby is kicking her ass. Like, as women, come on now. Come on. But that still doesn't excuse her behavior towards Lauren. Okay, to say that I picked you, That's why I chose you. Like, the Jess, you can say that you're not hating on Lauren being there, but it's written all over you. Because honestly, Angela Yee didn't have to share her position with another woman. So why should you? And it's funny how they're bringing Lauren on when the comments were complaining about Jess delivering the mess, and she couldn't read and she couldn't articulate right. She didn't give details. But Lauren comes on and she's very detailed. She's more engaging. She takes the news serious, whereas Jess takes it hilariously. It's funny to her. But a lot of people do watch The Breakfast Club to get their news. But for Jess to just keep it 100, you do not want to have to share your seat with another woman. You don't need help. But like I said, they can't fire her because she was postpartum. She's still postpartum. So what they're going to do is just move Lauren in, don't move her out, and hopefully Jess will get irritated enough and she'll just leave. But they don't want to pay her out of her contract. They just want it to end. So 9 times out of 10 when it end, I would be very shocked if she renews it. So, but spiritually, Jess is fired. Okay? They're just waiting on her to get the hint while Charlamagne and them are up there laughing and thinking it's funny. If it were them, just like when Charlamagne didn't think it was funny, when HBO canceled his deal for allegedly taking somebody's vagina, he wasn't laughing about that. He wasn't singing no Kumbaya then. Go ahead and listen to them playing her face like she crazy. Go ahead.
I came back. It was weird. Yes, it was weird. Yeah, I at first, no, I did not. I wasn't too fond of Lauren. Nah.
First of all, when a black woman show up without no makeup on, you mean business. I'm surprised she didn't wear the do-rag. Let's go.
I wasn't too fond of her when I came back because we had a whole plan. Even how when I came back, how I pick her to fill in for me, right? I come back, she ain't never leave. Then, all right, cool that she don't leave, but she's on only during my segment. If she was meant to be a fourth host, move her in another way. Why she got to be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Jess with the mess until she started reading right. You know what I mean? Till she started reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter. I was hired as Jess with the mess. So she started reading and delivering details and all that stuff. Yes. Then that's when Jess with the mess wasn't good enough no more. That's how it was presented. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Who said that though? Because the internet said that?
What are we talking about? No. This is our listeners. This is yeah. Why can't we be a fourth voice? Why she only got to be a fourth voice on my segment?
She wasn't a fourth voice. She was a producer. She was hired as a news producer to help with getting all news and doing interviews.
She was going to be the senior news producer.
She wasn't on there. When you came back, Lauren was not on there. She was in the back doing questions, sending interview questions, reporting the news. Am I lying?
I thought she was. I thought she was on air. She was on air.
Ask a question.
What?
Why didn't you wear the do-rag this morning?
Because.
Why you joke so much, man?
What you mean?
I'm joking. And it's not a do-rag. It's a silk scarf. But it's not. It's not a joke.
Now, just that's enough. They played in her face. It's all excuses. She's trying to really express herself. They're not taking her serious and telling her, DJ Emmy had a light-skinned moment where he was like, leave them people alone in the comments. Don't talk. Don't worry about them. F them. They trying to trick you out your position. No. They're not trying to trick her out of position. Those are the people that built her. Those are the people that built her. They were there before y'all even came. So of course she listens to her fans. Right. Same way y'all listen to fans when they calling y'all scammers and they calling y'all vagina takers. It's the same thing. Have some compassion. Have some compassion. Now this one right here rubbed me the wrong way. When I saw her and Lauren talking about this, because I'm a fan of Lauren. I'm not a fan of Jess, but I respect Jess. There's a difference, okay? I'm not a fan of her work because I don't think she's funny, but I'm a fan of her grind, okay? Let's watch these two sisters duke it out. Let's go.
I'm feeling in real time. That be quiet. That was crazy. The shut up. I was like, oh, okay, because what we really giving up here. Like, what's up?
Okay,
right?
But
I didn't.
None of that was said. You didn't say anything
and
about
then,
that.
And then when I pulled you into the office with our EP with Eddie, the first thing I said to you was, Jess, we fighting for airtime and it shouldn't be like that. I want to know what can I do better as a producer? What can we do better as the two women sitting right here next to each other to make sure that don't happen, because it doesn't look good. It's not going to play well for either one of us.
I literally swear to God, I don't even remember you saying that.
And that's exactly why I had Eddie in the room, or EP,
I don't
to have
understand.
have the
never
conversation.
ever heard that.
Because
when you've pulled me to the side a few times to ask me, you know, are you okay? How do you feel like about the stories and things like that? You've never said what you just said to me. Now listen. I have said, hush, shut up. Yo, you overtalk. And like I said, I'm not about to be up here fighting for no mic. Like, I'm not doing that. If I already got the job, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not. It's four voices. Three of us are very opinionated. You know what I mean? Me, you, and Charlamagne. I'm not saying Envy don't got no opinion, but he don't jump in every single time there's dead air. You know what I'm saying? When you overtalk. And it's like the only time you can quiet down is somebody be like, shut up or hush.
My mom don't even tell me shut up, Jess. I'm a grown-ass woman.
And I understand. You could have said that on air right then and there. Or right after when you say you pulled me in the office. You never pulled me nowhere to tell me that.
Because the way that I do things when it comes to my job and my career, that's not what we on. And I told you from the jump, I was never going to give that to you.
Okay.
Ever. And I did I not? Our first conversation, I said, if I ever have an issue with you, I'm going to handle it in a way where we can get through a conversation, because we grown, and regardless, you don't got to love me, you don't got to like me, but we here together. I'm here.
And listen, like I said earlier, the internet loves mess.
Yes, you are here.
And one of the easiest ways to create mess is to pit women against each other.
And you're here because of an opportunity that I extended.
Regardless
I'm not sitting here like you don't deserve to be here. I'm not sitting here like you're not here. You're not going anywhere. That's first and foremost, let's get that. It may be my delivery or whatever. But yeah, you are here. I ain't never say you shouldn't be here. I said from the whole jump, yeah, Shorty do the job great. She's amazing. That's why I want it to be her segment. I
think y'all can work very well together. And once again, you got to stop letting the internet pit y'all against each other. I know the internet has created a narrative, Lauren versus Jess, Jess versus Lauren.
But that's what it is.
And that's what I'm trying to say is the internet is there. We see it. None of us can ignore it. I saw that Corey thing a week ago. It didn't say nothing about it.
But y'all clear up everything else. Nobody want to clear up that I'm not feeling that. I don't like you, or I'm hating on a.
They say I'm gay. I ain't never came up here and said I don't suck no pee-pee.
That's true,
That's different now. Come on.
The last time I attempted to do that, Jess, it went so bad that I said I wasn't going to do it again.
Attempted to do what?
I don't dislike you. You don't dislike me. The day you came back.
It was different. The way when I did come back.
Now, I do remember the day she came back. She told Lauren to get up out her seat. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was like, I'm back now. She dressed up. She looked real cute. And she told Lauren, she walked up and was like, get up. I was like, well, damn, you can't say excuse me? And Lauren got up and moved to the side. I was like, damn. Why did they even have her sit and just share? Like, that's not a welcome back. That's not how was maternity leave? Like, you had to ask this lady to move, and it created friction amongst the fans. Like, what's really going on? They knew what they were doing. And like I said, they're trying to frustrate Jess just enough for her to get messy and start doing what she's doing. And guess what? They even have reason to fire her, or she's eventually just going to quit. But go ahead, let it keep.
Lauren, you have to admit that ish was crazy. The way we had a setup, we had something going, we had a whole nother plan. It went left. You came in here and it's like you did something totally different. The first thing that you spoke to was the things in the comments.
I feel like we're having a behind-the-scenes meeting on air, which is kind of cool. But let's go to commercial or something, and then come back.
Well, the whole thing is we need a resolution, bro. We'll take some phone calls, but like I'm resolution based and not.
Okay. So here's the thing. And I don't even like that they did it on air. To me, I felt like this should have happened behind the scenes, even though Jess did bring it to the internet. But I feel like conflict in the workplace, even though I'm guilty of it, and I know I've dragged a few of my own ex-staff members. Lord Jesus, forgive me. Okay. But I do feel it, and I tried to keep my stuff behind the scenes too, but some people just be trying you. I just felt like people were choosing sides. And really, Jess had nothing to do with this. Let me tell you how Jess got the job. First of all, let me remind you of what Kendra G had to say. Now, you know, I don't with her too tight, but when a person real, they real. Listen at what Kendra G had to say. Y'all remember this when she did her little interview here recently talking about her ex-employer, iHeart, and how they really get down? Let's go.
I think that you actually were going to level up and take it to the Breakfast Club. Well, leveling up from because that would be syndicated.
Oh, yeah. I know all this backstory.
So basically, because in Chicago, y'all were in one market. So you were supposed to sit in for Breakfast Club, or what happened over there?
Okay, so let's get into that. So basically, I come from radio. It was the same company. At the time, I was doing my single show. So there was plans of, I knew my time in Chicago was done. Like, it was time for me. Either I was quitting and going to California. Obviously, when the Breakfast Club came about, it's like, wait a minute. Okay, let me get into this and see what this is about. And just being fully transparent and honest, I was getting a lot of pushback as just filling in, like guest co-hosting. And they had a schedule, and I was fighting to get a chance to guest co-host.
Right.
And then, you know, it became very apparent that, they ain't really considering me for this job.
Really?
And, yeah, really.
Was it like how they were treating you?
Well, okay, let's just give the true story. The day I got to finally guest co-host.
Because you're really close with Charlamagne. That's how I know you for the most part. That's how we've met.
Right.
Yeah.
We haven't talked in a while. Big ups to Charlamagne. But during this time period, I was supposed to guest co-host. I had a day. They said the night before that I wasn't going to get, not Charlamagne, but the program director. Yeah. I wasn't going to be able to guest co-host because things changed. Things do happen in radio. They have pre-recorded interviews, but I was able to come in the next morning and still just do some talk breaks with Envy. Well, when I went in the next morning, Jess Hilarious was there. Shout out to Jess Hilarious, super talented, deserves to be her job. Like, this is nothing about her at all, right? So I want to make that clear. I think she was an excellent choice. But still, with that being said, as a company employee, I wasn't really given an opportunity to even guest co-host, really, according to, and they would say, you were on the list, we were going to get to you. This is where the boss, Kendra, comes in. You can't get to me. Like, you know, if I'm watching for 2 months, people getting a chance to guest co-host, and I work for the company, and I gotta wait, that's not going to happen. So literally...
Let me throw this in there, too, because a lot of times, and we would have some of this dissent within the company, because we were all same company even though it was different cities. We always felt like being in Chicago, okay, you got New York, you got LA, then it's our turn.
Right.
So
because it's the third largest.
Right. So if you saw people coming in from a smaller city, smaller part, you feel like, how did they get ahead of me?
But I don't even feel that way. I feel like you gotta deserve everything, right? You have to earn it. So you don't just get it just because you're. This is a business. It's a numbers game.
Right.
I get all that. So I don't take that part personal.
Okay.
I do take guest co-hosting when they were going through that time period. Like, I wasn't given the fair opportunity during that time period. They would say we were going to get to you, so it wasn't like you were going to get a chance to guest co-host. But literally, after that experience, I did it. And again, because I know this might go viral, shout out to Jess Hilarious. That's your job. You kill it. I've always loved you. But I quit after that. Literally.
So that was the final
show. That was it. I was done. Like, that Friday, I had to go back to do one more episode in Chicago. It was May 1st. And I was going to Italy for my birthday. And I knew I was not returning, and I sent my resignation letter while I was in Italy, and I never went back.
And she been with the company for years, and so they set her up for the okie doke. That's just how our heart works. But how Jess got the job is not because, like I said, she was talented. It's because of her relationship to Charlamagne. Charlamagne calls the shots up there, not even DJ Envy, y'all. It's Charlamagne, okay? Jess had a little contract with Charlamagne on the Black Effect Network. They talk every other day, okay? So they were on the phone for hours. Jess ended up getting more gigs in between them testing out people to make it look like it was fair. But he had already told the EPs in order for them to renew the show, he wasn't going to do it if it wasn't with Jess. And, you know, Jess kind of looks like his wife. Jess kind of looks like the woman that accused him of taking her vagina. Just my observation. Had to put on my Kendra G glasses for that read, you know. So they developed a bond. And he ensured that she sat down. And he had promised a few people that he was going to put him in that seat. But it was always gonna go to Jess. I don't care what y'all say about my hair. I'm keeping my hair. I'm not relaxing no more hair. I'm not curling no more hair. I got me a wave cap and a brush. Before we head over to TashaKLive.com, Jess, go ahead and get your affairs in order, please. So these people won't fire you. It'll just make it look like you quit and you in charge. Sort of like when an artist about to announce that they're going independent after their record label goes out of business, because that's gonna happen.